Hey guys, welcome to Robotobzor. Today I will check out one of the best robot vacuums in late 2021. This is the ECOVACS Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI+. The price starts from $800, as this robot is some really heavy-duty stuff. The first is the floor detection camera, which looks the object on the floor. The second, an auto-cleaning base. The third is a unique Aeroforce cleaning system used in air-robots based on two silicone scrapers rollers. The fourth, a vibrating module for mopping. Besides that, T9 AIVI+ has an air freshener, a LIDAR system for navigation, and pretty interesting functions. I think that this robot had everything needed for a modern vacuum to effectively clean a house. Now all we have to find out is how well our robot does with its main job, and if everything works as advised. I'll link the store where you can find this bot in the description. Currently, you can only buy ECOVACS Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI+ from China, which causes a problem, but I'll get to that a little later. And now let's get rolling. The robot came in this box. Aside from the robot and base, I found these things: a charger, now that the plug is Chinese, and a European version isn't provided, so I recommend ordering it with a vacuum, a separate water tank which can be installed in place of the air freshener, 10 single-use wipes for your robot, an extra bag for the auto-cleaning base, an air freshener cartridge, and instruction written in Chinese. This is basically everything. Everything needed is provided, aside from some spares like a side brush, a HEPA filter and extra mops. I recommend buying these items for your robot. You can buy them straight from the manufacturer. Now let's take a look at ECOVACS Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI+ itself. It's black and the shell is made from stainless plastic. It is a little higher than 95 mm. On the bumper we can see a camera for identifying and avoiding obstacles on the floor. The tag got the name True Detect 3D and True Mopping 2.0. At the back is just the model for the air freshener cartridge. The LIDAR is responsible for building the map and navigating the robot. It is presented as a mechanical button, which saves it from getting stuck on the furniture. Next to it is a single button, Start, Pause. The dust container holds 420 ml and is right under the top lid. Next to it is a power switch and a Wi-Fi restart button. Underneath is a convenient cleaning tool. We can also see a warning that states that it's okay to wash the robot underwater, which implies that you can also wash the filtration system. Inside is a shutter that saves dirt from being accidentally let out. There are 3 filtration systems: a HEPA filter, mesh and foam. This is cool. Also, apparently the HEPA filter is a class E12. And here is how the air freshener works. A water container that vibrates is included to switch with the air freshener. It fits 180 ml of water, which isn't really a lot. The water gets on the mop through the 3 openings. The water regulation is electronic. Here are the single-use cloths. They are pretty thick, and I think that if you wanted to, you could effectively use them multiple times. And this won't affect the cleaning quality on the floor. Now let's take a look at T9 AIVI+ from below. It has 6 anti-fall sensors, which is awesome. The clips to attach to the auto-cleaning base are located in the front, and right next to them are the carpet sensors. And in the center is our Aeroforce system, which is included in most iRobot vacuums. The 2 scraper rollers rotate in opposite directions. They are made of durable silicone and can both be removed to clean off the collected hair and fur. By the way, if you're wondering if the rollers can be replaced with those from iRobot Roomba i7+, then no, I checked. Ecovacs has slightly shorter rollers. This was done on purpose so that each vacuum had their own brush model. And yeah, under the rollers you can find openings for moving the dirt from the vacuum to the auto-cleaning base. Now let's look at our base. It has a platform on which the robot parks. Here we can see the openings for sucking the dirt into the base. A compartment for keeping the extra cord is at the back. This is good. The top lid opens when you press on it. Inside is a 2.5 liters dirt bag. It's all pretty standard. It's not the biggest bag if you compare it with the others, which can fit 3 or even 4 liters of dirt. When the vacuum gets on the base, the mop doesn't touch the floor, which is good, so your wooden floors have nothing to worry about. All in all, the robot is assembled well, and I have no complaints. ECOVACS Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI+ main characteristics shown by the manufacturer are on the screen. I recommend pausing to read all of the info. All in all, the characteristics are pretty standard for this model. Now let's look at T9 AIVI+'s functions. The robot is controlled through the Ecovacs Home app. And here is the problem. As this robot is made for China, you won't be able to connect it without a Chinese number, specifically a +86 number with 11 digits. So right after buying the vacuum, ask your seller to set up an account for you. I got sent the details for connecting my robot, after which I connected it to the internet and my phone without a problem. On the home screen you can see your robot status and its charge. Here are also the buttons for an automatic clean and immediate return to the base. When you press Enter Smart Cleaning, the robot's main functions open up. The home screen also has the map. The vacuum automatically zones it into rooms and even marks your carpets. Here are the robot's main cleaning modes. Area. You can pick individual rooms. Auto. They automatically cleans the full available area. Custom. You can choose rectangular areas that need cleaning. In the Edit Map tab, which is on the bottom left, you can check up your Wi-Fi connection, set up no-go zones and virtual walls. Not only that, but you can also set up virtual walls and no-go zones just for mopping. You can also edit the room's borders, combine or divide them. You can also name the rooms. On the top center is a hidden map menu when you can choose a map. ECOVACS Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI Plus can save a couple of maps. Let's go back to the home screen. If you swipe up, you will get a more detailed settings tab for your cleaning perimeter. In the View and Edit mode, you can choose the amount of times your robot goes around the area, once or twice. Plus, there is a 4-lever suction adjustment and a 3-lever water supply for the cloth. You can also set up the order in which rooms get cleaned and mopping algorithm. A simplified snake pattern cleaning algorithm is provided, as well as the thorough mop when the robot will go back and forth on the line. You can also set up a reminder to clean your cloth after your robot cleans. By the way, as I said before, the robot has a vibrating platform that vibrates 480 times per minute, which helps get dirt out easier. You can also turn the air purifier on and off, if it's installed. When you're setting up your cleaning schedule, you can set the time, days and the needed rooms for cleaning. By the way, if you go to the customized mode, you can even regulate your suction power for individual rooms, cloth thickness and the amount of times your robot goes in each room. This is great. You can also choose the robot's language and robot's volume. Like I said before, ECOVACS Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI Plus can speak in English and Chinese. Now let's move on to the settings. Here you can change the robot's name, check the cleaning history and the roaming history, and set the time when your robots won't disturb you. In the Smart Cleaning tab, you can turn it off the object detector. Let your robot save objects on the floor in its memory, which it can recommend you to move before the next cleaning cycle. You can also make your robot continue cleaning after it's done charging, automatically increase power on carpets, and auto-cleaning on the base. When setting up a remote connection to the camera, you can set a passcode which can be later changed. You can also view the water level, your app version and if needed update the app. By going to the map display section, you can take certain data out the home screen, if it bothers you. A more interesting detail is the section where your home's 3D map is displayed. Yeah, ECOVACS Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI Plus can build a 3D map, which is really cool. You can add furniture, tech and other items manually, which most likely helps the robot navigate. As you can see, there are also no-go zones and virtual walls on this map. Looks interesting. And lastly, I wanted to show is the ability to remote connect to your camera. After you enter the pin, you see functions such as setting point which you want your robot to guard in guarding mode. Make a screenshot which will be sent to your phone's camera roll. Tell your robot where to go where you need with the controller, and even call your robot to hear the sounds around it. And if you want, you can talk through it to people around it. This is very interesting and adds more uses for this robot vacuum cleaner. The functions are great, and now that the robot can automatically increase power on carpets when vacuuming, or when mopping it can go around the carpets. And finally, let's move on to the tests. First, let's check the robot's navigation in a room with obstacles. So right after the robot gets off the base, the robot goes around the perimeter, where it goes stuck on the drying rack legs. It's weird that the object identifying system didn't tell the robot to just go around it. Even after I moved it, it came back to the same spot and got stuck. This problem also happened with iRobot Roomba i7 Plus. I think this happens because of the robot's weight and the two rollers. So I had to move the drying rack out of the way to continue the tests. I guess you have to set up a wall near the rack. Either way, I took off points for this. And all in all, after the robot went around the perimeter, the robot got through the area in a snake-like pattern. It even went around each individual chair leg and box. This is obviously good, but still the test was not completed. As for the rest of the house, the robot first goes around each room in a snake-like pattern, then along the perimeter. On fluffy carpets, the object sensor works well, not like some robots we had on our review. And as we can see, I told the robot to go twice in one room. And it's weird that the robot didn't go through the room in a snake-like pattern like I expected, but in the same trajectory. Either way, the robot passed this test. There are no unclean spots and the cleaning time was pretty standard. I also wanted to test how Ecovacs Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI Plus's camera does with its main task. On the floor, I put items that can make it harder for the robot to clean, so the robot didn't recognize pet feces. It went around the shoe, and it hit the weight scale pretty hard, which means that the LIDAR doesn't detect it. It moved the toy but saved its spot, and it didn't identify the sock route over it, and got it stuck in the rollers, after which it stopped working. After I took out the sock and put the vacuum down, the robot continued working and returned to the base. Note that the robot went around the wires as well as the leggings, so the object detector needs some improvements. As you can see, only one object is shown on the map. The shoe was identified as just a thing. The other objects were not identified. In other tests, vacuums sometimes identified and showed wires and shoes. But then again, this doesn't always happen. As requested, I will additionally test some things with the camera. First of all, it's much worse in the dark. And secondly, this robot doesn't identify puddles. So the TrueDetect 3D and TrueMopping 2.0 tech is still new and needs some work, on which I'm counting on. Ecovacs Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI Plus's suction power impressed me. The vacuum could suck dirt out from cracks as deep as 10 mm. This just proves how good this vacuum is. The robot is great at vacuuming hard floors. The robot is even better than most at getting dirt out from corners, even though it doesn't leave some dirt, because it's round. And if we check the brushes, we can see the rollers and brush have some hair and fur stuck on it. Most of the dirt is collected in the dust collector. Again, by popular request, I tested how well Ecovacs Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI Plus collects hair and fur, and how well this robot cleans itself from them. So the robot is good at collecting the hair and fur, and the brushes did a good job too getting most of the fur off. So the robot's vacuuming is good and effective. You can easily take off the side brush and clean it from fur. The rollers are also easy to take off and clean. You can easily cut through the hair with the tool provided and manually clean. The side brushes are cleaned just as easily as you can see. This is a big benefit. T9 AIVI Plus did a great job vacuuming the carpets. This is thanks to the high suction power and the good cleaning system. Test passed with the flying colors. The robot is good at getting rid of dry dirt. Only some stains remained. But this is because the single-use cloths are thinner than the regular ones. I think that the regular cloth would improve the quality, but sadly it didn't come in this box. And as for regular mopping, it is important to note that the Ecovacs Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI Plus can mop and vacuum simultaneously. And what it does, it automatically goes around the carpets, which is great. The self-cleaning quality isn't so good. The robot was filled with different dirt after our tests. And here are the after results. Hairballs couldn't pass through the dirt container's shutters. After the second auto empty, the results were much better, but not perfect. So the self-cleaning is not the best. By the way, soon I'll have a video comparing different auto-cleaning vacuums from different brands, like Roborock, iRobot, Ecovacs, Dreamy, RideMe and many more. So make sure to subscribe to our channel to not miss it. I think if I compare the bases from different brands, it really shows what are you paying for. Ecovacs Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI Plus is great with obstacles. It easily went over a 2 cm baseboard. Sadly, the robot is afraid of dark spaces and recognizes them as cliffs. This is my first complaint so far. Lastly, let's check T9 AIVI Plus volume in different modes. On minimum, it goes to about 60-62 dB. In medium, it has 64 dB. On max, it reached 67 dB. And on max plus, it peaks at 72 dB. The robot is pretty loud, but this is expected because of its high suction power. Ecovacs Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI Plus was thoroughly tested and described in this video. Our algorithm gave it an 88 out of 100, even with my point deduction for the bad object sensor and because the robot got stuck on the drying rack. Even with all that, at this moment this is the best robot vacuum that I had on my reviews ever. So first I'll get the obvious upsides and downsides that I had with this robot. Then I'll give my opinion on whether or not this is robot for you. I liked the following. A very effective cleaning system based on 2 silicone rollers, which is the glory of the iRobots. The robot handles fur and hair well, and is even good at getting rid of it. Good suction power. Good navigation if we are talking about the LIDAR. The inclusion of a vibrating model that helps get rid of stains. Simultaneous mopping and vacuuming. All of the great and modern functions in the app. A 3D map, the ability to connect to the camera as well as the so-called garden mode. Good cleaning, good assembly, self-cleaning base even if it's not the best. An object sensor which again isn't the best but can be improved and updated. And an air freshener that is completely new to me. And as for disadvantages, they are also not few. Here are the ones I found. The robot is made for the Chinese market. So you need a Chinese phone number for registering your account. And you have to order the robot from China. This causes shipping problems like a guarantee, customer support, and the delivery takes about a month. This is probably the biggest problem. The object sensor needs some serious work to be done on. It's very new and doesn't really help the robot. I really hope that this gets fixed in the future. At least Roborock S6 Max V had the same problem at first. But over time the problem got solved. These are the main problems I found. I can also list some more problems from my personal experience. Small water container, the robot can get stuck on things like chair legs, it's scared of dark spaces, the self-cleaning isn't top-notch quality. So I recommend before buying this model to weigh the pluses and minuses and see if this is right for you. Either way, as of now, Ecovacs Deebot OZMO T9 AIVI Plus has the most interesting combination of functions and characteristics. The vacuuming is pretty good. The robot surprised my expectations and proved to be one of the best vacuums in late 2021 and early 2022. So if the benefits are more important to you, you can go right ahead and buy it. I got it off Alibaba and linked it in the description below. The Chinese seller didn't seem off, and the price was lower than on AliExpress. On this note, I would like to end the video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have fun shopping. Bye!